Ladies and gentlemen, we all have moments in life when we need a little nudge, a gentle reminder that we are worthy of every bit of love, every bit of respect, and every ounce of happiness. But sometimes we don't get that reminder from the world around us. Instead, we have to look inward, discover our true value, and give ourselves that acknowledgement. And while there are many ways to navigate through life, one fundamental truth remains constant. Every woman, no matter where she is from, no matter what she's been through, needs to hear this. The world may try to tell you otherwise by creating false images of what you should be, by pulling you in directions that are not true to who you are, but none of that defines you. What defines you is your essence, your strength, and your resilience. This speech is not just a collection of words. It's an invitation to reconnect with your truest self and to live in a way that is not dictated by others' expectations, but guided by your own deep understanding of who you are. Let's explore this together. One of the most powerful truths any woman can embrace is that she is enough. No changes, no fixing, no improvements needed. From the moment you were born, you were already a masterpiece. But the world has a way of pushing narratives, telling you that you need to look a certain way, act a certain way, or be something that you are not. It's easy to fall into that trap, to believe that something must be wrong with you if you don't meet the external expectations. But here's the thing, you don't have to meet anyone else's standards. You don't have to bend and mold yourself to fit into a box that isn't made for you. You were not created to be anyone but yourself. The world might not always validate you, but that doesn't diminish your worth. Every woman has an incredible, unique power simply by being herself. The real work is learning to believe in your inherent value, even when the world doesn't seem to reflect that back to you. It's important to remind yourself daily that you are already perfect in your own way. There's no such thing as a perfect woman, only real women. And the real woman is someone who embraces her flaws, her mistakes, and her imperfections. These aren't things that need to be hidden away. They are your story, your journey. They make you who you are. The more you accept yourself, the more powerful you become. You create space for your true essence to shine through. We live in a society that constantly tells us we need to change, be thinner, fitter, richer, smarter. But you know what? It's all just noise. The only thing that matters is how you feel about yourself. When you truly embrace who you are, the world begins to mirror that. You don't need to seek validation from outside sources. You are your own source of strength, your own source of beauty. Just the journey to accepting yourself as enough is one that can take time. It's not a one-time thing, it's a process. But that process is worthwhile. Every time you embrace yourself more fully, you take a step towards living the life you were always meant to live. And in this world, there's nothing more powerful than a woman who knows her worth and lives unapologetically. But it is a radical act of self-love to refuse to let anyone, including yourself, tell you that you are not enough. You've always been enough. Don't let anyone forget it. There is a quiet power in your voice. Too often society tries to silence women, or at least diminish the impact of what they have to say. From boardrooms to classrooms to social spaces, the value of a woman's voice is often undervalued or undermined. But the truth is that your voice matters, your words hold weight, and your perspective. We've all seen it, the way women can be interrupted or talked over, their ideas dismissed or downplayed. But here's the thing, when you speak, the world listens. It may take time to carve out space for yourself, but it's important to keep speaking. Your thoughts, your opinions, and your ideas are valid no matter how much noise exists around you. In fact, The more you speak up, the more you empower yourself and others. It's easy to shrink into the background to keep your opinions to yourself, especially when you've been told time and time again that your thoughts don't matter. But don't let that become your truth. In every interaction, whether it's with friends, family, or colleagues, your voice deserves to be heard. It may feel like a struggle at times to find the courage to speak up, but it's important to remember that when you do, you give others permission to do the same. Sometimes women face the added pressure of needing to be perfect in order to be taken seriously, or they fear being labeled as too much if they are too bold. But that's just another way the world tries to silence you. Don't let anyone tell you that your voice is too loud, too assertive, or too anything. Your voice is yours, and it is the one thing in this world that is uniquely yours. Use it, speak your truth. In today's world, there are still so many women who feel that they don't have the right to speak up, or worse, that their opinions won't be taken seriously. But that's a narrative we must reject. Your voice is necessary, now more than ever. The world needs women who are willing to speak out, to make change, and to lead. Don't shy away from that responsibility. Remember, every time you speak up, you not only claim your own power, you also create space for others to do the same. Don't underestimate the ripple effect that your words can have. You may not always see the immediate impact, but rest assured, you are contributing to a shift. And that shift will continue to grow as more and more women reclaim their voices. In this world, women have often been conditioned to apologize for their existence, to shrink themselves, to take up less space. We've been taught that being too loud, too confident, or too bold is somehow wrong. But that's a lie. You deserve to take up all the space you need. The world is big enough for you to stand tall, speak loudly, and shine brightly. It's easy to fall into the habit of being small, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally. We shrink to avoid conflict, to fit in, or simply because we don't feel worthy of taking up space. But that's not how life should be lived. You have the right to exist fully in all of your magnificence. Your dreams, your ambitions, and your presence are just as important as anyone else's. Every time you hesitate to take up space, remember this: you have as much right to be here as anyone else. Your ideas, your desires, and your very being are valid. You are allowed to occupy space in this world. You are allowed to take up room in conversations, in meetings, in relationships, and in life. The world is not a pie. There is no limited amount of space, no limited amount of success. There is room for you. When you take up space, you show others that they too are allowed to do the same. There is a beautiful, quiet rebellion in owning your presence and stepping into your power. You don't need anyone's permission. Your mere existence is enough to make an impact. Don't let anyone try to convince you otherwise. Stand tall, be. It's a radical act to take up space in a world that often asks women to shrink. But when you do it, you not only honor yourself, but you also honor all the women who have come before you and all those who will come after you. You show them that it's possible, that it's okay, and that they too deserve to take up their space. Your presence is powerful, and it is not something to apologize for. Never apologize for existing fully. The world needs all of you. Don't be afraid to show up, to stand out, and to be unapologetically yourself. Life is a journey, and along that journey, challenges will arise. There will be moments that feel too heavy, too overwhelming, too painful. But it's in those moments when you feel like you can't go on that you realize just how strong you truly are. Women are some of the most resilient people on the planet. You have faced difficulties, you have overcome obstacles, and you have risen again and again. Your resilience is one of your most incredible qualities. No one knows the struggles you've faced, the battles you've fought, and the wounds you've healed, but you do, and that is a source of immeasurable strength. Resilience isn't about never falling down, it's about getting back up every time you do. It's about continuing to move forward, even when the road is unclear or the weight of the world feels too much to carry. You've been through so much, and you've come out on the other side stronger than you were before. That strength is something that cannot be taken from you. Every time life knocks you down, you rise again, and with each rise, you become more powerful, more unbreakable. You may not always feel strong, but trust me, your resilience is in your bones. It is a part of you, a constant companion through every high and every low. Resilience is not just about bouncing back, it's about evolving. It's about using the lessons learned in your hardest moments to become a better, wiser version of yourself. You carry the lessons of the past with you, and you continue to move forward, no matter the odds. That is the definition of strength. Women are often told to be gentle, nurturing, and soft, but there's nothing soft about resilience. Resilience is gritty, it's raw, it's fierce. It's the ability to keep moving forward when the world tries to push you back. You've already proven that you can handle whatever comes your way, and when the next challenge arises, you will handle that too, because you are resilient. Remember, resilience doesn't mean you have to do it alone. You have the strength to reach out, to lean on others, and to accept help, but the ability to continue moving forward is yours alone, and that strength will carry you through anything life throws your way. Life isn't always easy, and sometimes you may feel like you have to fight for your happiness. Society often tells women to put others first, to sacrifice their own needs and desires for the good of others. But that's not the path to true fulfillment. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to chase your dreams, to follow your passions, and to live the life that makes you feel alive. Happiness isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's not something to be postponed or put on the back burner. Your happiness is just as important as anyone else's. No one else can define what makes you happy. Only you know what that feels like, and only you can make choices that align with your true desires. It may take work to carve out the space for your happiness, especially if you've been taught to prioritize others before yourself. But that's a pattern worth breaking. When you make your happiness a priority, you show the world, and more importantly yourself, that you are worthy of joy. And when you allow yourself to experience true happiness, you become more vibrant, more energized, and more capable of achieving everything you want in life. Don't let anyone or anything dim your light. You are allowed to choose joy. You are allowed to fight for the life you want. Happiness isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you actively choose and create every single day. Even in the midst of struggle, even in the midst of pain, you have the power to seek out moments of joy. It's up to you to fight for your happiness, even when it feels like the world is trying to take it from you. Your happiness matters. It's worth the effort, the struggle, and the persistence. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone guilt trip you for prioritizing your well-being. You are worthy of love, of peace, of joy. Fight for that, and know that every step you take towards happiness is a step towards becoming the best version of yourself. Healing isn't linear. It's messy, it's complicated, and it often takes longer than we expect. But no matter what you've been through, whether it's heartache, trauma, or pain, you have the power within you to heal. Your body, your mind, and your spirit are incredibly resilient. They know how to heal themselves if you give them the space and time to do so. Healing is not about forgetting or pretending that the pain didn't happen. It's about understanding that the pain does not define you. You are not your past. You are not the things that happened to you. You are the strength you've gained from those experiences. Healing is about releasing the hold that pain has over you and stepping into the fullness of your potential. Healing is about releasing the hold that pain has over you and stepping into the fullness of your potential. You don't need to rush your healing process. Take the time you need. Be gentle with yourself. And remember, healing doesn't mean that you will never feel pain again. It means that you will learn to cope with it, to move through it, and to continue living even when it feels hard. You will become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Your power to heal comes from within, but you don't have to do it alone. Reach out when you need help, whether it's from a therapist, a support group, or people you trust. The act of healing often involves connection, vulnerability, and letting others in. You are not weak for needing support. You are strong for seeking it out. You don't have to carry your pain in silence. Healing is about reclaiming your power, your peace, and your wholeness. It's about taking back control of your life and your future. You are deserving of healing. You are deserving of peace. Every woman deserves to heal, no matter what her journey has been. Every woman carries within her the potential to make a difference. You may not always see it, but you have the power to change the world around you. The change doesn't have to be massive, and it doesn't have to happen overnight. But each choice you make, each action you take, ripples outward and affects the people and the world around you. You are a force for change simply by being yourself. When you show up authentically, when you speak your truth, when you live with integrity, you inspire others to do the same. Your influence is more powerful than you realize. Change begins with small acts of kindness, acts of honesty, acts of standing up for what's right. Your presence can shift the energy of a room, and your choices can shift the direction of your life and the lives of others. Never underestimate your power to change things. Whether it's making a difference in your community, your family, your workplace, or even your own life, the changes you make matter. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Every time you act with purpose, every time you take a stand for what you believe in, you make the world a better place. You may not see the immediate impact of your actions, but that doesn't mean they aren't significant. The world is full of people who have made a difference in small, often unnoticed ways. You don't need to be famous or powerful to create change. You simply need to be willing to take action. Don't let anyone make you believe that your actions don't matter. You are a force, a catalyst for change. You may not always know how far your impact will go, but trust that every effort you make has rippling effects. You are powerful, and the world needs more women who are willing to use that power for good. Life isn't static. We change, we grow, we evolve. And that's one of the most beautiful things about being human. No matter where you are on your journey, remember that you are always in the process of becoming. There is no finish line. There is no perfect version of yourself to strive toward. The only thing you need to do is continue evolving, becoming the person you are always meant to be. Your growth may not always look the way you imagined. It may come in unexpected forms through challenges or through moments of self-doubt. But each step you take is a part of your evolution. Don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of the unknown. Trust in your ability to adapt, to learn, and to grow. Every version of yourself has been valuable, whether it's the person you were yesterday or the person you will become tomorrow. You have always been worthy. Embrace the process of becoming. Celebrate each small victory along the way, because each step is a sign of your strength, your resilience, and your commitment to living a life that is true to you. In the end, what every woman needs to hear is simple. You are enough. You have a voice that matters. You deserve to take up space. You are resilient. Your happiness is worth fighting for. You have the power to heal. You are a force for change. And above all, keep moving forward. You've got this.